The asparagus is doing very well as far as I'm concerned, because this is the first time I ever planted asparagus, and I'm not really sure of how it's going to turn out, but as you can see, lots of fern-like foliage, and I believe it's doing fine. But the mistake I did, after all the preparations that we did and all the process that we went through planting and making it grow as healthy as we can, was we forgot to put the worms that you see there. We do have lots of gophers and moles in this yard, and they ate just about all of my asparagus except two. Okay, so here is lesson learned. This is one, and here is another asparagus left and survived the moles and gophers we have in this garden. We prepped the bed very well and really got it off to a good start. It did very well. It grows nice and vigorous. Yet what I notice is that as time goes by with this asparagus, they slowly are diminishing until we have but these two left. The gophers and the moles were feasting on the root, and so I believe even the squirrels would come and take their share of this asparagus every spring. So we were not able to harvest at all. But this is lesson learned, because of the gophers and moles we have in this land or this garden. We have to be careful whenever we plant something, and raised bed is the perfect way to do it here, so that we could put the chicken wire at the bottom of the raised bed. And this time my husband is going to be prepared for them. He put that worms in there for whatever we're planning to plant in it, and he's going to reinforce this woods around it and put some lining to make sure it lasts a little longer. I mean, greens are safe. A lot of other greens are safe. The moles and the gophers won't touch them, but for the roots and other type of vegetables that they like to feed on, it was devastating. And as you can see, at least a dozen I know that I have planted and did very well the first 2 years. But now, as you can see, I have but these two left. So we're keeping in this pot for now. We're gonna try to propagate it, and whatever comes up of it, comes out of these two pots, we will try and situate them, hopefully in a much better area where no moles or gophers can get to them. But lesson learned, be careful how you plant your asparagus, or you will not have harvest like I did not have any. Here are my pineapple. As you can see, my husband finally planted them directly to the ground. He almost gave up on it. I guess he's getting a little weary on waiting for it to bear fruit, but as you can see, this one was affected by the last cold spill we had. Nevertheless, take a good look at how good that one in the middle is looking. That's the biggest one. We finally have it planted directly to the ground, and there they stay and we'll just let them do whatever they please, whether they bear fruit or not. They are in a much better situation than being inside the pots where they were planted in. But remember that because this is now outdoor, we will not be able to take this inside the greenhouse to overwinter when the cold weather comes. But we'll try and see what we can do to keep it warm for the winter. We'll inform you when that time comes, how we'll go about it, and see if we'll manage to keep this alive. And hopefully we'll be able to surprise you with some fruits as well as surprise ourselves. Okay, so you see, I never had to buy any seed potatoes because either from my kitchen or my daughter's kitchen, we will have some potato that will start sprouting, and I just don't have the heart to ignore it or throw it away, so we'll put them in any pot and cover them with soil. And as you can see right there, I have potato growing here, and what my husband is doing is adding more soil because it is really very low down there where we got it started, and it will need more soil as it grows until probably where you see that first like a rim right there, right about there. Then we'll stop adding more soil, just like that one. And as you can see, so he's just adding more soil to it, and we'll continue adding soil as it grows. Actually, I have one that we also, so this potato pot here was in a greenhouse, and as you can see, the last cold spell we have affected it, but I'm not worried about it. As you can see, it's bouncing right back up. There's a new growth right there, and it's still nice and green. It will continue growing. It will pick up its growth, and we let it be, and whatever it puts out, we will be happy for it. But as you can see, it's quite green and recovering, and it should do very well because it seems like the weather will continue warming from now on. You might get a little chilly every now and then, but I believe the warm weather is here for the springtime.